So, hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing fine. So, let's start today's class. So, students, do you remember what we have done in our previous class? Let me show you a question related to that, and you would be solving it. Then you would be understanding about what we had done in our previous class. Read the question carefully and answer the question. Yes, I'm giving you a few seconds to think about the question. Read it carefully and answer it. Yes. So, what would be the right answer? The right answer would be true. This statement is appropriate, correct for making the things sorted and formatted. We highlight them so that we can see the sheets which has been created in an appropriate manner. So, by concluding this, we have learned about the various things in making the spreadsheet sheets, where we have learned about the inserting components of worksheet, which includes inserting sheets, deleting sheets, renaming sheets. Now, this is what we have covered all about. Now, I want to ask you how sheets could be secured. We have done how we can make sheets, we can create, we can delete, we can insert more sheets into single spreadsheet. What do you think about the secured one? How we can protect the sheets actually? Like they should be secure. Whenever we open, we should retrieve the entire data again, and the entry should be remain same. What do you think, what could be the secured option for that? Yes, what do you think? Of course there could be some command for that as well. Yes, or what could be the other options for that? Okay, no worries, don't worry about that. We would be doing it in our class, that is workbook. In workbook we are able to do the entire things which are for security purpose. We would be learning how we can protect the sheets of worksheet. Okay, so this is what our today's topic is, workbook in Excel. So let me write the topic here, that is workbook in. So our today's topic is workbook in Excel. This is what we're gonna learn in today's class. Today's topic is workbook in Excel. Now, you students, don't get confused between the workbook and worksheet. You might be thinking that we have done something related to this, but this is not similar to the worksheet. Worksheet is basically the sheets where we create the entries, but workbook is where we're gonna learn about for protection of those worksheets. Okay. So before starting that, let me share the learning outcomes for today. That is, after the completion of this lesson, you would be able to define the concept of workbook in Excel. You would be identifying the use of protecting a workbook in Excel. Then you would be able to apply the concept of protecting a worksheet. Okay, then you would be analyzing the steps for moving the workbook in Excel. Then you would be appreciating the use of inserting the worksheet. Okay. So now let us understood about the workbook first. What this workbook is all about? It is, you as you can see from the image, there is an option where we can see that after clicking on it, we can have several options to where we can apply the option, or we can apply the security on any sheet. First of all, let me tell you that Excel includes 2010 version of Excel includes that protection of commands that prevents from making changes to the layout of the worksheet in a workbook. Now, worksheet is different and workbook is different. Now, worksheet is basically the sheets which we created, like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. If you remember in previous class, we have done all this. Sheet 1, where we used to give the name and change the name for that file. Similarly, they are asking, what if we are applying security on that? What would be the change we could see? Like, I have shared my spreadsheet Excel to some other person with the link on it, if I'm sharing that, now you can see that whenever I use spreadsheet, I am giving a lot of changes in it. But what if I'm sending this link to my friend or anyone? They would also be changing the same. They can also change and edit whatever they want, but if I have applied the security protection to that workbook, it won't be, they would not be able to do any changes. So they would, it would be logged. As you can see that there is a log which is kept over here, with the help of which we would be protecting our spread worksheet or workbook, with the help of which they can't access or they can't edit to our sheets. Okay, what you can do for protection, you can assign a password, you can apply the password the way you know put passwords in your mobile phones for opening it. Like you can see that if I am opening it, I am having password over here, isn't it? They are asking for face ID or they are asking for the password. If you are applying password, then only other person could open your sheet. So it is a kind of good thing with the help of which we can apply security on this. Okay, the passwords are very necessary these days. Yes. Why do we need to protect our workbook? What do you think that if we are applying security on it, what is the requirement of doing so? Yes. Take a time and think about it. What do you think that why this function is there? Why this command is there? What was the need actually for protecting the workbook? Yes. We can say that the workbook is some kind of private work. Like if we are working, would you like that if I have created the spreadsheet of your marks, of your entire data of the class, subject names, marks, would you like to share that with another class, with your seniors or with your juniors? Would you like to share that? No, you won't like to, because everybody want to keep their academic scores private. They don't want to share it with other person. So in similar manner, if the people who are professionals who are having the architecturing or the marketing, they are also making this spreadsheets where they don't want to share the data with the other person, or they don't want other person to change or added on that spreadsheet. But they that if that spreadsheet would be protected, there would be security that is applied on it, so they won't the other person won't be changing it. So it is very essential for applying the password or security on it. Okay, so yes, so here's a question in front of you. Read the question carefully and answer it. Yes, I'm giving you a few seconds to think about it. Read the question first. Excel 2010 includes a protect workbook command that prevents others from making changes to the layout of the worksheets in a workbook. What do you think? Is this statement true? So if you are thinking about this statement is true, then you are also perfectly appropriate. This statement is very right that Excel 2010 gave this protection workbook command so that the worksheets could be protected, that the other person could not work on it or they cannot do any editing in that very spreadsheet. Okay, so the answer would be true. So now how we could protect an Excel workbook? How we could protect that? What do you think? We have discussed a little bit about this before as well. Let us see how we can do that. We can apply password. Can you see that there is a password that is applied in this way? As I have shown you in the whiteboard also, you are having 2-3 kind of password, like applying the patterns, or we could say the numbers, numerical digits also. You are having these kind of options, like in the mobile phone also you can see that. If I'm opening this, yes, you can see that these numbers are coming on. If I am writing it as, you can see that little bit are filling. The way I am clicking on it, you can observe that the digits are, the dots are filled with that. They are requiring for 6 digits. Now you can see that I have put the wrong password and they are saying no, it is correct, not correct. This is how nobody can open your spreadsheet if you have applied the password. If I will be using the appropriate password, then only you can open. So it is a good approach, as the creator who has been creating the sheet, they would be only knowing about the accurate password. If they would be giving that password to other person to change, then other person could apply the password and open it. Okay, so this is how we can protect an Excel workbook. You can see that here is a dialog box in front of you, where you would be having these kind of options, that is protect, structure and windows, which is included in two subparts, that is protect workbook for, you want to protect for structure or for window, it depends upon you. We would be performing it to understand it more about that. Okay, so this is how other, even some other person is sitting beside you, he or she won't even be able to see that because it is converted into dot form. Okay, so yes, this is a pattern of how we can protect the structure. How we can protect the structure. For protecting the workbook structure, users cannot change, insert, delete, rename, move, copy, hide or unhide worksheets or anymore. Now, in previous classes, we have learned about the insert option, delete option, rename option. We have used all of these components of workbook and worksheet. Now, they are saying that if we have protected our workbook, if we have applied password to it, then no other person can change, do these kind of change, that is inserting, deleting, renaming, moving, copying, hiding or unhiding the worksheet or anymore. Means nobody can apply these kind of commands on spreadsheet, sheets, worksheet. Okay, so first of all, what is how we can do that? First of all, we would be opening the protect workbook. Here you can see on the image. Also, the steps are, we would be opening a workbook first. Then on the review button, you would be going on a review button here. Then you would be clicking the protect workbook here. Then you can apply the security on your workbook. Okay. Now here's a question in front of you. Read the question carefully and answer it. I'm giving you a few seconds to think about it. Yes. If you protect the workbook structure, users cannot insert, delete, rename, move, copy, hide, or unhide the worksheets anymore. Do you think this statement is true? This statement is appropriately correct. These are the options which cannot be used by the other person who don't know about the password of that worksheet. Okay. So now, what about the protecting an Excel sheet? Now we have understood about the workbook. What about the sheet now? How we could protect an Excel sheet? Let us see that. This is the option. This is the we could say the command which we are able to see on the spreadsheet, where we would be right clicking on that sheet where we want to apply the security, and we could able to protect the sheet while clicking on right button, clicking on the protect sheet, and that sheet would be protected. Okay, let's see how it would be protected while performing it on practical work, which we're gonna do in few seconds. So here's another question in front of you. You have to solve it. You have to just answer in true or false. You can write in the comment box also, or you can write it on your notebooks as well. I'm giving you a few seconds and you would be answering it. If you protect the workbook windows, users cannot move, change the size, close windows anymore. What do you think, this statement is true or not? Also the steps. If you are thinking this is true, then you are also right. The statement is very right. Other person cannot perform any activity if they don't know the password of your applied protected password on the sheet. So now let's go to the lab and practice. Okay, so the screen sharing has been stopped. Let me share the screen again. So now you are able to see the entire screen. First of all, we would be going to start button, then Microsoft Excel. Yes. Now what you can see is that by default sheet 1 is here. Okay. I'm giving entries here. Names, subjects, class, okay, full, okay, subjects to be maths, computer, class 6. This is also for again class 6. Okay, just this is for giving you an idea that I have created the sheet 1 here, and now sheet 2 is here, sheet 3 is here. Okay, let us try to apply the security on this. Now what we understood in the very first step, first of all we have to go to the review button. We can say there is an option for protect book. If I'm keeping cursor, they are explaining it. What's the use of this? That is prevent unwanted change to the structure of the workbook. Here, if we have applied the security, then nobody could be able to apply these options, that is moving, deleting, adding sheet. We cannot perform anything if we have protected it. Now, they're asking that, as I have shown you in the previous picture, that protect workbook for. For what I want to protect this? For structure, for window, or for what? Like for structure, I'm applying password 123. Okay, you might not be able to see that because it is, I am tapping on the keyword. Now I have clicked OK. They said enter password. This is for the good purpose. For if we forget that, we can recall that. If you lose or forget the password, it cannot be recovered. Okay, you have to write it somewhere so that you don't forget that. If you want to apply that, you can write somewhere on your notebook. Okay, now you can see that I have applied the security here. Show the link here. Now I would be applying this password. Now they said unprotect. These are the different options I am receiving now. The security has been applied here. They are asking now for unprotect. If I would be applying the password, which was 123, I have okayed it. So now it is again not secure. I have unsaved it. Now I'm clicking on it. You can see that the pass security is there. For Windows also, let us try 123. They're asking for writing it again 123. They are saying that remember that passwords are case sensitive. We should make this thing in mind that we should not apply if we have written like a capital letter A in the password. Suppose 123 I have given, I want to give ABC. If I have written A capital, then if I am next time I forgot that I have written the capital A or the smallest A, then the password would not be retrieved. They won't be opening it. I have to make it this thing in mind that I had applied the capital E. Okay, so now the security has been applied. Now this is on the structure. I cannot change the structure of this file. Okay, now we would be again trying to, now this is how we can unprotect it. That means we can apply the password again and make it free. Now let us do for structure again. What are the changes? Okay. Yes, it is. You can see that there is no changes possible. Again, it is coming in the same form. So the protect workbook is protected. Now let us perform for the sheet. Now you can see there are several options. First of all, I have to apply the password, that is again 123. Select to log the cells, which cells I want to log. Okay, you can select the, you can format the cell as well. Okay, if these are the options which you want to click, which column, which row you want to insert or you format. Okay, these are the options for you which you want to protect. Now let us apply the password again. See, I have double clicked on to identify to edit. They are saying that the cell or the chat that you are trying to change is protected. You can see that, and therefore read only. You can only read, but you cannot change, move, delete, or rename. These are the opportunity. These were the options they have taken from us after protecting it. So now we are not able to do any changes. To modify a protected cell or chart, first remove protection using the unprotected sheet command. They said that if you want to change or edit anything on it, you have to first remove protection. That means I have to unprotect it while applying the password. Okay, you may be prompted for the password. This is what they are saying. First of all, unprotected, like you can see that unprotected sheet is there, whereas it was protected sheet before, because now I only can unprotect it because I have protected this sheet. Okay, yes, you can see that I'm clicking on sheet 2, it is not protected, and the option is like protected sheet. Now sheet 1 is protected, you can see that it is unprotected sheet here. Now if I want to make it free again, let me show you here again. This is protected one. I'm clicking on, double clicking on it to add it. You can see that I'm again seeing this option. Okay, so this is how we can apply the protect sheets, how we can protect workbook, how we can protect the sheets. Now I want to make it free. I would be clicking on it and I would be applying the password, that was 123. Now I clicked on it, it is protected again, it is unprotected again. They are showing protected sheet, but this is the option which we can apply, but the already applied is unprotected one. Okay, now I'm double clicking on it. You can see that now I'm having access of changing it, changing the subject. Okay, so this is how we can apply the security on workbook and worksheets. Okay, so let us try for the another one also. Let us see if we haven't put the entries, are they able to protect it? I don't think, because there is no, they have asked for the columns and row, but we haven't inserted. See, this is again, we can make it protected. Now I'm double clicking on it. Let us see if we are able to work it. Now I applied security on second column, even if I haven't write anything, but I have applied security here. So we can see that this very cell A2 is protected and nobody can do any change, but they can just see only. Okay, so now I unprotected it. Let us try for making this. Okay, let's try for the entries one. Now you can see that I'm applying this on every cell which I created. Okay, I'm applying 1 2 3 here. Okay, then 1 2 3 again here. Okay, now I'm double clicking on it. You can see the dialog box is again here. I'm double clicking here. You can again see that these are protected. I applied this on 3 cells, all are protected. I'm double clicking on it. You can see the changes. Now here I have applied on 9, but here with others I haven't applied, but the entire sheet is protected. Okay, so there is no need to worry that anybody can make any change on the entire sheet. Okay, so I hope now you all have understood about the protect workbook and unprotected workbook. So let us conclude now today's chapter. Now I feel like you all have understood it, and if you feel like you are having any problem, you can ask it directly from me and I'll be solving your queries. Now let us conclude our today's chapter. That is, first of all, we have learned about the work workbook. What is the workbook and how we can protect an Excel workbook. Then we also understood about the protection of Excel sheets, how we can apply the passwords on it, and we can secure the sheets so that other person could not access to it. They cannot do any changing, moving, inserting, or deleting, renaming. Okay, so here are two questions related to that. You would be answering it now. I'm giving you few seconds to answer it. So yes, you can write it on your notebook as well. You can pause the video if you are taking more time. Otherwise, you can verbally answer that. You can also write in comment box. I will be checking it. What do you mean by inserting a workbook? Or what are the steps to protect an Excel sheet? I have explained it. You have to explain it in your words now. So, okay, I feel like you have written it in 2 to 3 lines and you have recorded in your mind. So here's a homework in front of you. You have to answer these questions. You have to write in your own words on your notebooks. And what you have to do is you have to perform two activities. First of all, in Microsoft Excel, what you have to do is there is a name, that is Mr. Subhash, who is putting sum of three cells in a fourth cell, where you have to put the sum of greater and less than, and you have to apply the security on it so that you can make this private and other person not to access or apply editing on it. Okay, and you have to write make the flow chart of the steps of applying the protection of workbook. Okay, so that's all for today's class, students. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving the attention. Thank you. Have a good day.